just before Christmas and we're out tinkering in the workshop. I've got this old compressor here, or a big one rather. It's bigger than my normal one. I'm changing that over, but it won't quite go under the unit, so I'm just going to take this shroud off, see if that'll help. So come along for the ride. Right, well, as you can see, I've got a 90 litre compressor normally. Let me show you my other one, which I bought, I think it was last year I bought this, installed this. The one before that I had was a 60 litre compressor. I upgraded to this 90 litre, which is a great compressor, and it's been powering my cabinet, but I just need that extra bit more storage capacity because this is obviously running all the time. And this is the 150 litre, which is a lot larger physically inside. But as you can probably see, the tightness between getting it between the workbench there, I'm hoping it will just clear with this cowling off. So I'm not too sure. And then hopefully get that under. If not, I've got to find a way probably of either lifting the workbench up a little bit, which is going to be a news. Just look at all my gear on there. Look, as you can see, I told you in another video how messy my workshop is, and as you can see, I'm very tight for space in here. That's why I want to build the extension out the front there. And obviously I need to get back onto the Reliant Regal. The engine's still there. I'm going to have to strip that down again now, because as you probably know, dust is everywhere in the workshop, as you can see. Eh? Oh, hello, Mummy, look.
Hello.
Mummy.
Hello, Daddy.
You're busy. We're having a clear up, baby.
Yeah, I'm clearing the front. Oh, it just fits. Look at that. Oh.
Well,
oh.
Let's have a look. I think that's where it sags. If you look at that next bit of worktop there, Gary, or Jimmy, that's higher. So providing we can get it in there.
Motor, isn't it? That engine on there.
If we can get that in there, because look at that worktop actually sags down a bit. So if we can actually physically get that in there, we should be okay. Where's that wire? Take that wire out. Pass that round to the back here. All right, that's got to go up through that hole at the back there. You'll have to cut that plug off. We'll have to cut that plug off. Yeah. Oh, you've got to cut it. Hold on. No, you need bigger ones than that. Right. Got to tidy my blinking tools up. Look at the state of them, look. Try them. That should cut through it. Yeah, up to the plug. Mind your fingers. Right, do you want to poke that through, and I'll stick it up through the back where that cable is. That's it, perfect. Push that under a little bit more then. So I'll try and guide that in. Oh, look at that, it's only going to go. Yeah, as you can see, look, it's not even touching the top there. Look, it's only that bow bit, wasn't it? Oh, that's beautiful. Right, so while we're here also, we've just drained the tank out. There was loads of water in it, and we're going to do that to the old one as well, because Jimmy's actually got rid of my one now and sold that. So we're going to drain this out. We've never changed the oil on this. We should change it regularly, I know, but you've got a fill plug there, as you can see, and we just cracked this nut here, and hopefully... Where is it? Hey?
It was cracked.
Yeah, it's going to be tight, that's all, isn't it? So we're just going to loosen this off. Got some rag there just in case. I know it's going to always spills, doesn't it? And get all this dirty... Oh, it's not even dirty. Clear. Well, that's a surprise. I thought that was going to be bleeding dirty. No, but it's only dribbling out. It should be halfway up the glass, shouldn't it?
It was halfway up the glass.
Well, it would be coming out faster than that if it was. Let's tip it towards me a little bit. It might be sitting back a little bit, you see. Oh, there we go. There it comes. That's it. So if I just tip that towards me, that don't need changing. That's spotless. Look at that. Absolutely spotless, that oil. So let's put that back in there. Yeah, clean the sight glass out, actually. That was the dirty thing. Yeah, look at that. It's totally spotless, look. I think it's just the crap on the front of the glass, to be honest with you. So we'll put that back in, actually. That doesn't need changing. Why change it if it doesn't need changing? Oh, it's thousands of years old anyway. I know it's refined and all that, but we'll just top that up. Now we've drained a bit out. So that oil is totally spotless. I couldn't believe that. We'll put a drop more in. That should probably do it. Yeah, because there's a little mark there, a red mark in the middle of that indicator there, and I'm taking it, as I say, up to the halfway mark where the little red mark is. A little drop more, so it might have lost a little bit of oil. Right, well that's right on the halfway mark now. I don't know, you probably can't see that, but it is. See, the air filter lives around the side there, as you know. We've already cleaned that, so that's all right. I will blow off all these fins and all that once we get the compressor going, and that'll be fine. We've drained all the water out, so that's it. Absolutely fine. Lovely jubbly. Right, so as you probably know, Jimmy moved units to a new unit. He was getting hassle from the idiots who own the other units, and they've caused so much hassle in that area apparently. I'll show you these pictures of what Jimmy was having to put up with. As you can see, parking, Jimmy has to have entrance to his unit, and these people were just totally taking advantage until I took these photographs, and I turned up one day and Jimmy said they've been doing this all the time. Cut a long story short, since then they've actually gone bankrupt. They've had the bailiffs around numerous amounts of times, and they've taken away their Triumph restoration company now, and they're now restoring camper vans, believe it or not, as like in the pictures there. Sharon went down there, was it 2 days ago I think it was, and she went to buy something from people in the other unit, and they said they're well hated down here anyway, so he was best out of it. So that's why Jimmy went in the first place. The new unit which he was going to, as I say, had the full-size spray booth in it, heated booth. Was it heated booth?
It was heated, yeah.
And they told him that you can have the unit for, first of all, 6 months. Was it 6 months or so? Just see how it goes, and then they'll obviously review the costings, what Jimmy was paying. So basically, Jimmy was going to go from one unit to another. He didn't have to have any compressors and all that. That's why he brought the compressor home here, because he was using all their state-of-the-art equipment. The bloke had retired. Anyway, cut a long story short, Jimmy had one more car to do, which is, you still got to do it, haven't you?
Yes, that's it.
But the problem was that the bloke who owns the garage, who's retired, there's two parts of the garage. The spraying side of it, he done himself, he's retired. The mechanical side was still there. And he then told Jimmy that his wife wants to keep the unit for storage. So that meant Jimmy was going out, he had no contract or nothing. So Jimmy was out on his ear with no contract, one more car to do. And that's the situation he's been in. Until, lucky enough, how did you get where you are now?
Just looked online, found it.
Fluke. Found Fluke. He'd been down to Audi VW, and they put him on a trial. They had another bloke working there. You was supposed to be on a. Well, you tell us about it. I don't know, Jimmy. Tell us about
2 week trial. 2 week trial. Another bloke had a 2-month trial. It was just whoever was better gets it basically.
After 2 weeks, they told him you've definitely gonna have the job. Although because of HR and all that, you have to serve out your so-called time. And they took him on full time. Now he's an actual paint technician, and he doesn't have to do no body work,
no stripping, just spraying, which is nice.
So they've got a part of the place which does that, and then they wheel the cars in.
3 parts: stripping, repairing, painting.
And that's it. You might have to do the odd bit of touching up there.
Yeah, nothing, barely anything really. Just spraying and masking mainly.
So he's now one of the painters at Vauxhall Audi.
Vauxhall?
Not Vauxhall. What is it?
VW.
Audi VW. And he's in 5 days a week. He does 6 days some weekends, and he's now their paint technician there, which is ideal for him really. And he's lost all that responsibility which he had before, but he's still got that car to paint, the BMW.
Yeah, that's going up there. We're doing it there now.
They've said to him that he can take it to BMW, to the Audi place there, and he can obviously there. Now, what are you doing different now than what you were doing from where you was? You had to buy all your paint in before, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got a scheme there now, my own paint scheme.
So
mix it on the spot, get the paint there and then.
He does all that now, he mixes the own paints, whereas before, if he had a colour match, because all he can go by before is working to a paint code on the car, and as you probably know, sometimes they're not all the same batches, so to speak, and you can have a variation.
Different shades, isn't it?
Different shades and all that, and sometimes when he's painted the car, it's been totally wrong, and he's had to out of his pocket, get the colour mixed again, take a bit off the car, like the petrol cap flap or whatever, go down there, they do a light scan on it, and try and get a near enough match. But that was the sort of situation he's in now. There you go. Before, we was pulling dents out, we had stud welders and all that. So that's all stuff he's done, and he ain't got to do all that anymore. And that's the thing. See, when you're working on your own, he had no help as well. I was able to go down there at times in the starting, but I couldn't do that now because I'm so busy with me Retrorestore and Retro Hatch channels. And as you can see here, I'm in a right blinking mess here myself because I've not kept on top of stuff, and I've now got to get things organised and move on. So, right, I'm just going to wire this plug up. We'll start the compressor up and see if it's all right. We've got a few more things to do out the front as well. I've got to rod some drains out if you fancy a bit of dirty work. See you in a minute. Right, that's it. We should be ready to rock and roll now. Compressor on. Happy days. Let's just show you what the other one is, size of the other one compared to this one. Right, so that's the size difference, as you can see. It's a larger capacity. That's 90 litres. these have been very good and reliable, these compressors for us. So just showing you the different sizes there, look. So I've got loads more capacity there, as you can probably see looking down. That's the end of it. That sounds quiet as well, doesn't it? So I'm well pleased with that. Right, so here we are round the side of the house. We've got a problem with the toilets backing up on the ground floor level in this part of the house, and we've lifted the drain. This did happen not so long back, and this drain here goes right down to the front gates of the property, and somewhere in that line there's a block. So we're gonna have to rod this out. I had this before where this was right up high. Let me show you. So as you can see there, we have got a blockage there. So we're gonna have to rod this, and lucky enough I do have some rods. I've had these for years, so they'll do the job. So I'm going to take this off now, put the screw end on, and then we'll start working it through the little pipe, the 4-inch pipe that goes under the ground, right over to the front of the property there, and somewhere between there and here we got the blockage. I've always clean these off after when you've used them, because you don't want to be handling them when they're full of crap. Hold that. Don't drop your phone down there, will you? Hey? Oh no. There's the screw in. So all we'll do is rod this out. You have to turn these together now. There's a way to do this. You don't want to be pushing it in and then just turning anti-clockwise, because you have to screw these onto each other. Hey? You took me away. You have to screw these onto each other. So you don't want to have to insert them and then turn anti-clockwise, because you could unwind them and then you've lost your rods in the pipe somewhere. So when you're pushing in, always turn clockwise, otherwise you could risk losing your rods down there if you turn them anti-clockwise. Does that make sense? You wouldn't know that unless you've actually been in that situation. So I know that the hole, you have to fish about with this, the hole somewhere here. You've just got to locate, there's a trough at the bottom, so you've got to feel your way through. Oh, there we go, we've gone in, see? And keep pushing and turning clockwise. And I'm hoping we've got nothing yet. So you keep incorporating more rods. So keep turning clockwise as you introduce them. Push and turn until we see that level go down. So we haven't seen nothing yet, but you can see what I mean about if you do this wrong and turn anti-clockwise, you lose your rods in there, then you're buggered. Then you've got to dig up the whole road to try and retract your rods. So always turn them clockwise. I'm turning clockwise as I'm doing it. In we go. Oh, I felt a blockage, look. There's something there. So this is where you want to turn clockwise and chew up that blockage. Pull and push and turn clockwise until you get through the blockage. I felt something go then. Keep going. Not a nice job, but it's a job that's got to be done. Right, okay, so here's the other drain by our gate. And I've had this up a few months ago, as I say, because we had the same problem. But what I've done before sort of cured it. Right, you get that handle and I'll get this handle. We lift it over there, yeah? Ready? Ready? That's it. There we go. Right, let's show you what we got here. Right, well, we've got somewhere. It's still not going at the rate I'd like it to, but you can see what happens there, look. That's where we're going. Is it still coming? I'm coming over here to where Jimmy is. As you can see, it's starting to come through there now. So there's a blockage. What you want to do now is, see this run goes straight up to the front of the house up there, and then from over there it wires in, like sweep tees in. And when I'm pushing them rods in, I think I'm hitting the straight pipe. So that's where the blockage is somewhere, but I think I've just broke through with it. Because as you can see, it's running through now. So Jimmy goes into his toilet now. Well, flush the toilet and turn the sinks on, Jimmy. All these other avenues there are all blocked off, by the way. This is just a universal deep drain. And that's the one that goes from there. There, it's just going to turn some water on. Now we'll see it come out of here, this side, because that's where the blockage is. Oh, there we go, look. So I'm expecting that to back up still. Is it going to go now? Look. It's still backing up, you see. So we just made a little hole in it, so to speak. So we need to keep on rodding until we get that flowing properly. From there, where it goes out along and then sweeps into the main drain run there, there's no other inspection hole, so the stiffness of these rods is what's holding us up, getting around that sweep tee, so to speak. So we've got to push plenty of water down there and get it running sweet as a nut. Anyway, we're going to carry on with that in a minute. You don't want to see no more of that. We ain't got much more to do now, so all the best for the new year. Don't forget, we're hopefully going to be live streaming on Christmas Day, and we'll see you then hopefully on, don't know what time it is yet, but these little jobs have got to get done. Anyway, thanks very much. See you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.